Assalamualaikum. This is Department of English, Government Postgraduate College, Attak. I am Shahryar Khan, and this is the second lecture of a series of lectures that I would be doing on some basic concepts of language. This lecture, it deals with a kind of present, the first kind of present that we would be discussing. In my previous lecture, I discussed that how the concept of and how the concept of time is associated with or linked with verb. I told you that verb is action, and it is the most important part of a sentence, because if you look at a sentence in any language, you will find that basically a sentence expresses an action. It is about an action. So verb is the central part of a sentence. We cannot imagine a sentence without a verb. And I also told you that action or verb, it is connected with the concept of time. In grammar, when we talk about tenses, then basically tenses are the expressions of verb and its relation with time. When we describe the action of a verb in relation to time, we call it a tense. Now, if you can understand that how we talk about different actions in our daily life, and how even though we are not conscious of it, but those actions are connected with the concept of time. If you can understand it, then you will have no problem in understanding the concept of tenses or the concept of time, and also you will not have any difficulty in expressing yourself. Basically, the students, when they are learning English language, the most pressing or the most important problem that they face is that they have thoughts, but because they cannot connect those thoughts, those ideas with time, they cannot connect it with time, and how to express them in relation to time. Therefore, they feel difficulty in communicating their thoughts in English language. We will try to overcome this problem in these lectures, and we will try to approach language from a different angle, and we will not be discussing that what tense it is or what it does, which is the traditional way of teaching um grammar to the students. We will be approaching this particular problem from this angle, that how language, it basically expresses different kinds of times, and how that time is connected with verb. And if you can master this relationship between verb and time, then you will not have any problem expressing yourself in English language, even though you might not be conscious that you are using this particular tense. You will not, you do not need to know the terminology or the different kind of grammatical concepts. You just need to master this concept of time and verb. So in our previous lecture, I told you that how this concept of time, it is divided into three categories: the past, the present, and the future. Now we would be starting with the present. Now, the first kind of present, we will be discussing in these lectures four kinds of present. That how, when we talk about present time, we can talk about this present time into in four different ways. We will discuss the first way today, that when we talk about present, how we talk about it according to different categories. And I told you that there are four categories of present, or the four ways we can talk about present. We will be coming to other three in our next lectures, but here in our first lecture related with present, we will be talking about the first way we can talk about present time. Now, the first way we can talk about present time is, let us start with an example. You might have seen, even though it is out of fashion now, but you might have seen a clock with a pendulum somewhere in pictures, in movies, or maybe in real life as well. Now, if you pay attention to the movement of the pendulum, pendulum is that part which is attached with the clock, and it moves in a rhythmic way at a particular between two particular points. For example, if uh, you can see in this video that this pendulum, it is moving at a constant speed between 2 points. Let us call these 2 points point A and point B. If this is point A and this is point B, then this clock, it is consistently moving between these 2 points at a constant rate. In other words, we can say that the movement of a pendulum is basically a kind of repetition. It is a kind of repetition that it starts from, the pendulum starts from point A, and then it moves towards point B, and then comes back to point A again, and then repeats it again and again. So if you understand this movement, this concept of movement, the movement between 2 points, or which is, in other words, which can also be called a kind of repetition, then in anything that is repeated after a period of time, it is, you can say that basically you cannot call this kind of repetition as present. Why? Because it is basically, it is neither present nor future nor past. An action that is consistently repeated after a regular interval, after a regular time duration, it does not belong to any three categories of time. But in order to understand it, we usually call it present. So, a pendulum-like movement. Why I am calling it a pendulum-like movement? Because it is related with time, first. Second, it is repeated time and again after a regular interval. Now just imagine that, for example, if we can express it through this diagram, that it is present, the red line is present, and action, if we I just use this example of pendulum for to create a mental picture for you, to give you an example. But let us forget about the pendulum and come to actions. Let us talk about actions that are repeated over a regular interval of time. That is, they, for example, at point A, that action is done, and then after a certain amount of time at point B, that action is repeated again, and it goes back and forth again and again, just like the movement of the pendulum. Can you think of such kind of actions that are repeated over a regular interval of time in our daily lives? Let us think about our routine. For example, if there is a student and we want to talk about his or her daily routine, then if you analyze it, if you look at it, you will come to know that most of the things he or she, that student, does, they are done as routine. Routine means that they are repeated after a regular interval of time. In our case, this regular interval, in this example, this regular interval is 24 hours. That is, usually most of the things that we do it, we do those things every day at the same time, at a given time. Look at this list. For example, we are talking about a student, he or she, they he wakes up at 7, for example, brushes his teeth, take a bath, have a breakfast, have his breakfast, go to college or university, come back at 2, he then eats his lunch, take a nap, he takes a nap, after that he takes tea, studies, watch TV, then he has his dinner, then studies, and then goes to sleep. If you look at this list, then all of these things, if you look at your own routine, you will see that most of these things you also do, and you do these things every day and at the same time. For example, if you wake up at 7, then every day you wake up at 7. If today you woke up at 7, then tomorrow you will also wake up at 7. So just like the movement of the pendulum, the action is repeated. The action moves between A and B, between 2 points, and it repeats itself. If you brush your teeth, you do it every day. If you take a bath, you do it every day. If you eat your breakfast at a particular time in the morning, you do it every day. This is what we call an action, which is about routine and repetition. It is, even though technically it is not present. Why? Because present is something which happens now, but routines or repetitions or actions that are repeated, they basically are neither present nor past nor future. Why? Because we continue to repeat them almost throughout our lives. They are a kind of uh, habits, and they never become the part of the past, or they never are present, or they never are future. Why? Because we consistently repeat them. But because in order to understand that, or in order to simplify things, we simply call this particular expression of an action as routine or as simple present. Now, all these in this list, all these are actions, and they are, as I told you, that they are linked with time. In this case, what is time? That they are repeated every day. They are repeated every day. And when an action is repeated every day, when an action is repeated every day, then we call it simple present, or it is simply routine. It is simply a repetition. So here we see that how this concept of action is linked with time, and what time it is repetition, it is doing something in regular intervals. Now in your life, if you want to express something, if you want to express an action that is repeated, that is repeated, that is part of routine of somebody, or that is part of habit of somebody, then you use simple present, a verb, a form of verb which tells us that that action is repeated over a period of time. You will use that form of verb. Now, apart from routine and repetition, this form of verb, it also expresses the habit of somebody, or it can express a state of mind of somebody, or a hobby of somebody. For example, if somebody has the habit of smoking, then we can express that in this form of verb. If the emotions which are related with a state of mind, like love and hate, they can also be expressed in this form of verb. And hobbies like collecting stamps or playing cricket, they can also be expressed in this form of verb. So we have four we have four ways in which this particular kind of present can be expressed. It can be repetition or routine, it can be habit, it can be a state of mind, it can be a hobby. So this is how, if you want to express these things, if you want to express routine, if you want to express something which is repeated time and again, if you want to express something which is habit of somebody, if you want to express something which is a state of mind, um, or if you want to express some hobby of a person, then you will use this form of verb. And we will come to that what form of verb is that. It is basically a simple present. It is the first form of verb. It is the first form of verb. Simple first form of the verb you will be using to express such kind of situations which are dealing with routine or habit or a state of mind or a hobby of somebody. Now how can we express this present? Now look at these sentences. He gets up early every day. The earth goes around the sun. He loves hiking. We go to the park every Sunday. They go to the gym together. It snows a lot in winter. I go to college by bus. Now, if you look at these sentences, then you will see the one thing that you will notice about these sentences, that they express something which is repeated, either repeated, or it is somebody's state of mind, or it is somebody's routine or hobby. For example, he gets up early every day. It means that he repeats this action of getting up early every day over a period of time. That is, after a given interval, this action is repeated. It is repeated every day. After 24 hours, it is repeated. And it is not that he just woke up early yesterday or he will woke up early tomorrow, but he repeats this action every day after a given interval. This is his routine. Second, the earth goes around the sun. The earth, we cannot say that the earth went around the sun. Why? Because the earth, it has been going around the sun since eternity. It since the day this universe was created, the earth is going around the sun. It is an action that is consistently repeated. It is a kind of routine. So see that in order to express this routine in we are using this particular kind of present, first kind of present. And same, we can for example talk about the sun, that sun rises in the east. It is also the similar kind of action. It is not that the sun rises in the east one time or two times, but it repeats this every day. He loves hiking. Now, loves, it is something uh, that is also expresses one's liking of something over a long period of time. It is not that I love something yesterday and I do not love it anymore. When you love something or you hate something, it is a mental condition, it is a state of mind, and it occurs over a long period of time. We go to the park every Sunday. Look at how it expresses a kind of routine. They go to the gym together. It is also a routine. It snows a lot in winter. Now this action, it is not repeated every day, but in winter, whenever there would be winter, it would be snowing. So in this way, you see that it is not that an action which is repeated every day would be considered in this category, but an action that is repeated over a longer period of time. For example, in winter or in summer or after 10 years, he comes here every 10 years. It is also, you can also express this kind of situation or this kind of action through this kind of present. I go to college by bus. It is also my routine. That is, the person who is talking, it is his routine that he goes to college by bus every day. So by now we have established this fact that present, simple present, mean when we talk about present time, it can be in English, it can be expressed in four ways. We are talking about the first way. The first way is when we talk about a present which is about routine, in which the action is repeated after a certain period of time, and that certain of period time can be one day, can be 2 hours, can be months, can be years even. So in if you want to express this kind of action which is not past, which is not future, but which is repeated in the present. Why it is called present? Because it is always present. It is because it is done every day or over a period of time. So we cannot call it past, we cannot call it future, we have to call it present. So therefore this kind of present is called a simple kind of present in which action is repeated after a given interval, like the movement of a pendulum. Now in this um, when we talk about how you for example, if you have something in mind that you want to express, and you think that it is something which is repeated or which is part of a routine, then you have to keep one or two things in mind. The first is, you already know this, that an English sentence, it has three major components. I am not talking about minor components or minor animals like adverbs or adjectives or all that. I am talking about three major components which are the basic, you can say, the building blocks of an English sentence. First is the subject, second is the verb, and third is the object. Now, verb, as we have discussed, is the action. Now there must be somebody who is doing that action, and who is that? He is the subject, he or she is the subject. Subject is the one who is performing the action of the verb, and object is the one on whom the action is performed. For example, if I say that I eat an apple, then I eat is the verb, subject is the one who is doing the action of eating, in this case it is I, and which thing is being eaten? Apple, and that would be the object. So subject is that performs the action of the verb, and object is that thing which is affected by, or you can say on which the action of the verb is performed. So this is something to remind, to recall this concept, that how we understand the English sentence. Now look at another thing that you should keep in view, that when we are talking about this kind of present, a kind of present in which action is repeated over um, over intervals, then you should keep this in view, that when we express it in language, you should be aware that there are two categories. For example, look at the category A sentences first, and then look at the category B sentences, and try to think of the difference between these two. Category A, I think he is smart. They love to have parties. You run in the park daily. We eat our lunch at 2 o'clock. People gather for prayer. Cows eat grass. We do not cook every day. Do they know one another? They do not live here anymore. I like tea. And now look at the category B sentence. He loves to play cricket. It usually rains every day here. She drives her car to work. Ali hates liars. She does not attend her class on Friday. He likes geography. She does not teach here. Does it change its color? Does he ride his bicycle? She thinks a lot. Now, if you analyze these two category of sentences, first thing that you notice is the verb. Now, in category A sentences, the verbs are think, love, run, eat, gather, eat, do not cook, know, do not live, like. Now in category B, loves, reigns, drives, hates, does not attend, likes, does not teach, does it change, does he ride, thinks. Now up till now you might have noticed that the verbs in category A are different from the verbs in category B. Verbs are actions. So we are talking about the action which is performed in the sentence. Now what is the difference? Basically in category A, the verb is, if we talk about the form of the verb, all the sentences have the same form of the verb. That is first form. Think, love, simple first form. Think, love, run, eat. Here we also have the first form, but there is one change, that there is an s added to it, or in some cases there is, for example, es added to these sentences. Now the second thing that you notice, that why there is an s added to it, added to verb in the category B sentences. If you look closely, you will find that the difference is also between the subjects. The subjects of category A are different and the subjects of category B are different. Now, what are the subjects of category A? The subjects of category A are I, they, you, we, people means plural, cows plural, we is also plural, they, I. Now in all these, with all these subjects, simple verbs first form is used and there is no s or es. But in category B, we see that the subjects are he, it, she, Ali, the name of a single person, she, he, she, it, he, she. Means either they are singular, mean all these people are singular, names, it can be a name of a person, or the pronouns that are used, they are singular. With all these subjects, s or es is added to the first form of the verb. So what can we know about this? That in this kind of present, when you want to express routine, first you should use this, that you should simply use first form of the verb, but first form, simple first form would be used with these pronouns or these subjects, I, they, you, we, people, or plurals. And if the subject is he, it, she, or a singular person, then you will be using first form of the verb but with s or es added. Now this is the most important concept. You should keep this in mind, that in this kind of present, the first kind of present, which is also called simple present or present indefinite, we simply use first form of the verb, as you can see in all these sentences. But there are two categories. If the subject is I, they, you, or we, or plurals, then we simply use first form. And if the subjects are singulars, like he, it, she, or somebody's name like Ali, then we are using first form with s or es attached. Now, third point that you should remember, if there is a negative construction. Negative mean if the action we are talking about is denied, that that this did not happen, for example, then what happens that you simply um, add, in case of category A, you simply add do not, and then first form would remain the same. And but in case of uh, category B, you will add does not. Here you will add does not, and then you would not use s or es with verb, because that es which was used here, which was supposed to be used here, that is now transferred with do, and now it is part of do, and now it is called does. So what you should keep in view, that if you want to if you want to talk about something in negative terms in this tense, then you will simply using does not with the singular subjects, and after that you will always use first form of the verb. And if you want to make a question, then you can simply add do with category A, and again after that you will use first form, and in case of category B you will simply use does at the beginning of the sentence, and then after, of course, you will use simple first form after it. So this is you can say the first kind of present, a present in which what happens that we simply talk about an action that is repeated after a period of time or over a period of time at a regular interval from um, after a given period of time. Like for example, if I wake up at 7 in the morning, and in the next day I wake up at 7 again in the morning, then it means that I am repeating that action, and it is a kind of my routine. I do this every day. If you want to talk about this kind of time in which an action is repeated, again I told you that verb is action, and if you an action or verb, it is connected with time. So here what time we are talking about? The time in which is being repeated over a regular interval. So if you are talking about a time which is in which an action is repeated over a regular interval, secondly, or it is the habit of somebody, or it is a state of mind of somebody, then you can also use then you will use this kind of tense in which you simply use first form of the verb with category A subjects. With category B subjects, you simply add s or es with the verb. And I told you that if you want to make a negative sentence, then in case of category A, you will add do not and then first form of the verb. In case of category B, you will add does not and then simple first form of the verb. In case of questions, you will take do at the beginning of the sentence in case of category A, and in category B you will take does at the beginning of a sentence, and of course you will add a question mark at the end. So this is the first kind of present um, that we did in this lecture today. uh, this is your home task. uh, Write a paragraph describing your daily routine, habits and beliefs using simple present. You have to write a paragraph in which you will describe that what you do every day, and also what you believe in, because beliefs are also, because they are states of mind, uh, they are also not related with past or future, but you have something which you continue to believe in a long period of time. or what state of minds you have, for example, what kind of things you love, what kind of things you hate, such kind of thing, describing yourself using this simple present. This is your home task. So in our next lecture, we will be discussing the second kind of present, that how present can be expressed in another way too. Up till then, take care.